Hello.
Oh,
I see Team W and I see Brian Huddleston, but I don't know if that's who's on the line.
my name is Michelle Huddleston. Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, you can hear? Okay.
I can. And then
No, he
who's
was
Team
used.
W?
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at the people who are on the call.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. Thanks for joining us, Michelle.
Okay.
And Team W, you can unmute. I just want to know names.
My name's Ashton. I work for the Team with Tammy group.
All right. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Ashley. So if this group remains small, I'm going to do something a little unconventional and allow you guys to, we'll do a couple of walkthroughs, but today's class is on opportunities. And Michelle, are you a single agent?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Sorry.
That's okay. And Ashley, you're on a team. So you guys are going to have probably a couple of different sets of questions, huh?
Okay.
So probably we'll start off here and let's see. The other person that's on the screen is my admin, Malik. And he was going to manage the chat if we had more than, 2 people. So are you guys okay with video? Because I really, really like teaching in person. And if I can't see faces, I don't know what to do. Are you guys comfortable with that?
I'll get on, show the video after I get my lunch together. Okay. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, I can do that.
Hey, faces, yay.
I'll put my face up in a little bit.
No. You go ahead and finish doing what you're doing, and then I will do topics,
Okay.
and then I will get to some nitty gritty on sharing some things. I think that mostly, let me introduce myself. I'm Lisa Warfield. I am the Market Center Tech Trainer for Keller Williams Louisville East here in the Ohio Valley region, and we are one of 3 market centers in our immediate area. I've been taking on this role for about a year and 2 months since our old tech ambassador role. He left and went to London. So I've been working with Command since it came out. So there are lots of things that I've been able to learn. And one of my main focuses is, what do you want Command to do? So a lot of times we sit on these classes and a lot of us literally just kind of walk through things and you guys see them, but there's no practicality to it. So what I'd like to do is to really give you some value for your time that you're spending with me today, and really kind of let you guys tell me where to drive you to. If this is your first time, let me know. If you're working solo and with a team, there are going to be some things that are going to go hand in hand. So I'm going to try to meld those together for you. But let me start off by asking, how long have each of you been using Command? And you can either put that in the chat or you can come off mute.
Oops, sorry.
Ashley?
So I actually just started. This is like week 2 or 3 for me. So I'm still getting used to everything and learning it all.
Okay, so are you new to Keller Williams as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's great information to know. And so you're new to your role with the team?
Yeah. So I'm like the executive assistant. I'm actually like the only one that's on the team right now. So we're growing.
Okay, so you guys are building. So I'm pretty much the same way. Malik, if you want to come off the camera, Malik is in your position. Yeah, stop it.
Hello, everyone.
And we're in the same room, so Malik has to kind of sparingly come off the camera. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
All right, and the same question for you. How long have you been using Command?
I'm sorry, how long I've been using what?
Command.
Oh, Command. I would say recently, trying to learn. I took maybe a couple classes in it. I need a lot more training though.
Okay, well, fantastic. It looks like I can take you guys from step 1, all of this being said. What I'd like to do is to tell you guys about a couple of training resources. Are you all familiar with how you can go to answers.kw.com?
Answers?
I'm going to show you a screen here. My goal is to teach everybody how to fish, because somebody is not always going to be available to answer your questions. So one of my goals when I train is to teach you where the answers are.
Okay.
Ashley and Michelle, this is going to be very valuable to you. So answers.kw.com. And I actually just kind of clicked on something that will have opportunities in the section. If you take a look, it will break down by articles and get started with opportunities, which is kind of what we'll go ahead and do today. I'll go ahead and click on that. Some of these things get deep into what you can do with an opportunity. So one thing first, who knows what an opportunity is? Ashley, you've been here 2 weeks.
I mean, I know it's like the starting process to getting something like listed, or like a buyer who's interested in buying. If you put them in the system, and that's how you kind of start the paperwork and everything.
Okay, Michelle, what do you think an opportunity is?
I I really don't know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. And a lot of times when we get on these Zoom calls, nobody is really looking to interact and they're kind of just looking for somebody to share the information with them. I get it. Again, I don't want to waste anybody else's time. So if I have an opportunity to really like deep dive and answer your questions, just come off mute. If you want to go ahead and mute yourself now, I'll go ahead and give a short presentation on opportunities, okay? So in answers.kw.com, which I can go ahead and click this link and share it in the chat so that you guys can have this. And at the end, you can actually, Malik, can you download that and put it in the chat for me? And that way you guys can download the whole chat at the end and you can save it and you can go back and refer to it, okay? So an opportunity is the way that we track all of our files in process. So that's buyers, sellers, and I'm not sure about where you are, but there is a leases option for rentals. I don't know if anybody works with a team that does property management, or if you do that on the side if your market center allows that. But that's why you'll see those 3 pipelines. So just a screen check. Can everybody see my screen still? Okay. So over to, let's go very basic. The way that we navigate command is we open up agent.kw.com. Okay, and you'll log in using your Keller Williams credentials. My screen may look a little different. And that means for you, Ashley, it's going to look really similar. Michelle, if you are a solo agent, that will just be you. So I switched it over to my personal account because this is what you'll see, Ashley, and probably the quickest thing for you to do if you're logging in under your Rainmakers account, they'll have these 2 options, personal and team. So I just kind of want to point that out as a basic. And creating an opportunity these are the main stages. You can actually customize these stages based on your business and how you do things. One more question, and this will help me kind of direct going forward. Michelle, how long have you been in real estate? I know how long Ashley's been in. You can come off mute. There you go.
Like since 2017 February.
All right, cool. And have you always been with KW?
No, I wish I was. I started out with Simpson Klein.
No? Okay.
And then I went to Cole Baker, and now I'm finally at KW.
Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. So you've actually gotten a chance to see some different technologies through the business. And Ashley, one more background question for you. How, with your previous experience, did you ever use anything that was like customer relationship management software based?
Yeah, so right before I came here, I actually was a licensed loan advisor. So I was doing that for several months. So I do have a general understanding.
Okay, perfect. So that will help me move along and see what kind of pace, because technically we have until 2:30 and I will give you all of that time as I'm scheduled, okay? So one thing I want you to see, if you click on the red KW, these are called applets. I don't know how basic I need to go, but I'm gonna just say that we're gonna start at square one. And these are called applets, and each one of them have a different function. The purpose of Command is to have all of your business in one place. And this is how you navigate those things to do with your business. Now, when you are creating an opportunity, your first step is actually not going to opportunities. It's to make sure that that person is actually a contact. So you cannot create an opportunity without first creating a contact. If you are new to Command, I will always, always, always recommend that you put yourself in as a contact. I call myself a crash test dummy all the time. So the one thing that you want to make sure of is how something looks before it goes to a client. And if you test it on yourself instead of something crazy happening, you want to know what goes out. Okay. So I would test everything on yourself. And that's also an excellent way to practice opportunities and smart plans and all the applets in command is on yourself. My spouse literally just kind of, he unsubscribed from my email, which I thought was very rude. So going forward, I am an opportunity in my own database, probably in here a few times. So I'm gonna start here. Or maybe I'm not in my personal. Am I in my personal? And I have my search based on everything, so it's gonna pull me up whether I'm in here or not. It'll tell me where I am. I may have to switch back to my team account. I love how it says there's 72 contacts with my name in there. So I have to find myself first. One of the basic strategies with Command and Zoom classes is that as soon as you are teaching a class, Command will absolutely go really slow. Ask for your patience. And most times with Command, if something is not working immediately, it does not mean it is not working. I am literally just going to pick a contact. I'm just trying to find one that has a familiar name that will not mind a couple of emails from me. There I am. Never mind. I found myself. All right. And everybody can still clearly see my screen.
Mhm.
All right. So this is my contact, and this contact has a great health score. Just a brief side note. In order for things to work well in Command, you want to make sure that you get a phone number for a contact, an email address, and a physical address if possible. And that will allow Command to start doing a few things on its own, like generating neighborhood nurtures for you to put them on an automated smart plan, which is super awesome. As you can see, this person has a timeline over here. And I'm going to move us out of the way. And Command will keep track of all the text, emails, and everything that you're doing with this client. So the only thing that I can tell you is that if you click on this view email, it is not going to take you to the email. It is going to take you to your email. It's just going to open it up. So that is something that is on the down the way that we're going to have functioning fully. But the other feature is that you'll be able to see what this person is searching on the app and if they have a saved search. I set myself up on a saved search, which you can see in these tabs here. You want to set them up on that. So these are all the ways that you can manage the contact. So our next thing that we're going to do, since today we're here to talk about opportunities, is we're going to create an opportunity. What kind of opportunity should we create? What do we want? Somebody pick.
Listing appointment.
Yes, because we all need listings. Absolutely. All right. So it actually defaults to listings. If you take a look, and let's just look at what is actually being created. Ashley, you're going to see this when you're creating an opportunity. Michelle, you will not see team. Okay, you're going to see yourself. and you're gonna be as the owner, okay? So this is gonna look a little different for you. I'm in 2 market centers, so this is gonna look a little different for you guys too, unless you're in multiple markets. The opportunity type is where we get to choose which pipeline this will go into. And as you can see, you've got listing, buyer, landlord, or tenant. Now, remember, we have 3 pipelines in the opportunities tab. We have buyers, listings, and rentals. And that's why we would have these differences in how we choose the opportunity type. So the client name is automatically filled if I am on the contact. You can do creating an opportunity 2 different ways. So I also have to estimate if there is a closing date. So usually contracts are 30 to 45 days out. I usually just take my calendar and I go to the end of the preceding month. If you know what the client's list price is, you're going to go ahead and put this in right now. All of these numbers you can change. The commission rate, here's where we have a little bit of differences. If you're taking a listing, you're doing this for 6%. However, if you have a cooperating broker, you more than likely are doing this for 3. I like to deal with the number that is most likely. So this is something that will be up to you because you'll only retain that whole commission if you are actually getting both sides. If you have the buy side on your own listing. So I do just put in the side that I intend to, to earn. The section underneath the opportunity name is a default, the client's name. However, for compliance purposes, most MCAs want to see an address in there. And since we're on a listing, we can just go ahead and create our address. So 123 Main Street will be our opportunity name. And then this will show up in the actual pipeline, okay? Ashley, moving further down here, the opportunity phases, these may be team, something that you'll discuss with the team owner, and Michelle, the same with you. They will automatically go under this cultivate, meaning that either this is an opportunity that I've met with and I'm set an appointment, or it really is germane to how you want to run your business. Everybody is not an opportunity that's in contact. So there has to be some small thing that has happened to actually create the opportunity. And that's kind of done on a team or your personal business level. So I usually put them in when I've had a 2-way conversation and I set an appointment. So now I have an appointment, they're in the scheduling phase. This changes all of that. So I want you to see that. Notice I just changed them from cultivate to appointment, and that actually changed the stages. Watch and nurture are under cultivate. So let's just say you had a past client call in, they referred someone and they said, well, give me a call next week. You can actually put them as an opportunity. I'm not sure, how you all want to do that, but it's totally how you want to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and say we have an appointment. I'm going to go ahead and say we kept the appointment, and I'm going to go ahead and create this opportunity. Ashley, as your team grows, as your group develops, you're going to have a list of assignees. So let's just say one of the other agents on the team, it's their listing, but it's under the team. This is what that means. You'll need to assign them in order for them to be able to see the full opportunity. So in this case, I would make Malik an assignee. Let's just say this is Malik's listing, and we're going to go ahead and create the opportunity. And now you can see with the timeline, there is now an opportunity, and I'm still in the contact. I didn't go anywhere. Did you see that? So the opportunity has been created, and I can access that opportunity by doing one of two things. I can either go ahead and click on 123 Main Street here, or I can go back over here and view my full pipeline. Both are going to take me there. One is going to take me directly to the opportunity. I hope. Fingers crossed. All right. I win. I win. All right. So I don't want to get rid of your faces because I want to make sure that we're following along here. So the listing is not live yet. I'm on a listing appointment. Obviously, I'm going to do some things first to the opportunity, but I want to show you around what an opportunity actually has in it. So of course, I've got my client's name, this option here that says select from listing. So if this listing is live, you'll be able to select it from what we call the KWLS. Not that big of a deal right now because as you're on your listing appointment, you won't even be able to use this yet. Make sense? The only thing you would be able to select from is an old listing. So just so that you can see this, anything that the finger can point to on here is something that you can actually manipulate. So one of the basic things in Command is how do you do what we do? And I want you to pay attention closely up top. You never have to worry about losing the previous screen work because it's always here. If you notice that when I navigated to this opportunity, my previous contact screen is still up. It causes you to have a lot of tabs. And I don't know how you guys feel about your computer screen tab, but Command will just take them all the way out. So you can either do this, you can either complete your work and then close the tab and go back, or you can just keep opening tabs, for infinity. My admin likes me to close my tab. Ashley, you probably like people to close your tabs too, don't you? All right, so going through a couple of things in the opportunity, opportunities have checklists based on each one of the phases. Now, the checklists that are there, if you've chosen them, are basic. You can go in and actually manipulate the checklist by going through to the settings. Hopefully it doesn't change things too much, and hopefully it works right now. No, all right. It did, it got me. So if you take a look here, this automatically took me to my main settings. And in the opportunities, we have client updates. So this is a bit of automation. How would you like a client to know once you check something off your task list, an automated email will be generated at the same time every day? Now, there are a couple of details on this, and if you click on detailed instructions, Malik, if you can click on that and put that in the chat, that would be great. Because we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but this is really valuable when it comes to client communication during the opportunity. Ashley, since you're on a team, this is going to look different for you. Michelle, it's going to look like this for you. So I can switch to my personal. You're always going to be the owner. You can send it to both the client and the co-client. So if you have a buyer and a co-buyer, seller and a co-seller, and they'll get this based on the time zone that you've chosen in Command. And Ashley, this is what I mean by on the team, you can actually send it from the team member or the owner of the opportunity or the rainmaker. Okay, and that's just a small thing. So we're going to go back to our opportunity and open up another tab. Sorry. All right, so moving down, the details. This is this screen in its entirety. So anytime you see this little gray pencil, this is where you have the opportunity to edit. When I said before that you can edit the closing date, the appointment phase, you can do all of that from here. So I'm gonna move us. We kept our appointment. We don't have any co-sellers. These dates, and the reason why they're important is because Command actually has a reporting function. And if these dates are not filled in, what's today, the 17th? And if these dates are not filled in, there's really no information for it to start to gather for you. So like average days under contract is derived from these dates as they're entered. Days on market may not be something that this will ever calculate, but your client from contact to closing, that time frame will be calculated as you enter in these dates. So I scheduled my appointment. We had it today. The agreement one, if you have a listing contract, hopefully on my appointment, I will not have a contract on that listing for sale just yet, so that can remain blank. My close date can remain blank, or I can put in, because we're in a crazy market, I will sell this property by the end of July. You can change this date. And this is where you'll make said changes. There are many, many places that you can make changes in Command, and there is no one right or wrong way. It is truly what is easiest for you. So I've made those changes, and let's just take a look at the breakdown. So if you take a look here, there's a little button. I can make a seller's worksheet here, because this is a listing. And this is a really cute tool. So this is where I'll go ahead and say that I'm going to pay that buyer. And let's just say in a reasonable world, the seller might pay, closing costs. Not in our world right now, but in the world before. But this will also give seller pay closing costs. Do you see percent? Oh, I can't see. I'm trying to see everybody's face. So let's just say 3%. Let's just say they owe $100,000 on their mortgage. Thanks, Malik, for saving me. This is why you always have backup. And say that they have $1,000 in taxes. I just want you to see what this is going to do. This is actually something that you can do in your opportunity, and you can preview this. Hopefully it works. I think everything is in there. Perfect. All right, so the other thing that's in the opportunities, Michelle, you work with buyers a lot?
I work with sellers most of the time.
Okay. All right. So
I need buyers, but
yeah, I know. But if you have those listings, you'll find buyers. So this is a tool called Porch. As a side note, if you ever go in one of your opportunities that you're creating for yourself, this is actually a really good tool for a buyer's agent to use. It's free for us here at Keller Williams. You can upload your buyer's inspection, and that will allow you to get some quotes, some very, albeit high, I've noticed, quotes, but it helps you in the negotiation process on inspections. I would never give it to a buyer. They're very high and it may freak your buyer out. But it is a nice number for you to negotiate with the seller.
Amazing.
It really is. It's amazing. Once you have that property, and since we're on the listing and we already know we're on 123 Main Street, we'll go ahead and set that up. I am probably not going to be able to do 123 Main Street because if you notice here, it is literally bringing up the map and putting in an accurate address. So let's just pretend we put in our address and we'll keep that going. I won't do much with that. And going up to the top here, the seller profile, this is actually if someone has downloaded your app. So if you maybe did a Facebook ad, shared your app, or shared your app, as you were out having conversations, and this person came into Command through your app, under their seller profile or buyer profile, it will say connected. This right here, it says not registered with the consumer platform. That's because I have myself in my system like 6 times. There is one that is connected. So moving down, our documents. Who is using DocuSign? I love your face, Michelle. Michelle's MC must be saying we need Michelle to use DocuSign. You're using Dotloop, aren't you? All right. So needless to say, my market center is going through the same struggle. The struggle is real. And until we don't have the option available, you can still use your .lose if your market center is still letting you use it. So if you see here, when I click on that little arrow for start a transaction, I have these 2 options. I will encourage you, if you're not regularly using Command and you want to go ahead and get into it, create your opportunities and start your loops from here. If you're not going to go into DocuSign, you have the ability, if your market center is still doing this, to go into .loop through here. This connects the account. So I'm going to blow your mind here, Michelle, and we're going to use DocuSign in front of you, and you're going to be a believer after we're done. We did just have someone jump on the call. And I am just going to say hello. You may come on.
Hi.
We had such a small, intimate crowd. I'm going a little bit off book. I'm sure that when my RTT sees this recording, he's going to be like, what? I love you, Josh. But when I have less than 5 people, I find it better than me just standing here talking to find out what you need to know about. On the call, we have Ashley, she's a team admin, and we have Michelle, who is the solo agent. And now we have who?
I'm Austina Bruton. I'm a solo agent as well. I'm with Keller Williams Greater Lexington.
Okay, hey, I'm Lisa Warfield. I'm the MCTT over here in Louisville at Keller Williams Louisville East.
Awesome. Nice to meet you all.
Good to meet you too. And I get to ask you my question. We are reviewing DocuSign right now, but that's just a small piece because we're doing opportunities. How long have you been with KW?
March. I became a licensed agent in March of this year.
Fantastic. The class has remained the same pretty much. And you are new to Command as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. All right. So I'll just for a small recap, where we are is opportunities. Where you get there from is agent.kw.com. Malik, my admin, is providing the links in the chat, and we should be able to download all of the links that we get to for you guys when we go offline. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Catch up that way. All right. Welcome. All right. So now that we're over to the documents, and now if you notice, I have another tab. Yay. and that's DocuSign. So it didn't go off of my opportunity, but it did go into what's called DocuSign Rooms. If you're not connected to DocuSign Rooms, you do have a Market Center Tech trainer that will assist you. 9 times out of 10, Michelle, you probably used DocuSign on your email before, and you probably have a connection issue, and that is probably one reason why you're not using DocuSign. Rooms and loops look exactly the same. Will not look exactly the same. They function exactly the same. This is where you'll store all of your paperwork. So Ashley, while your team is out getting things signed, they'll come in the way of these DocuSign rooms. Is your team using DocuSign or .loop?
DocuSign.
Perfect! Yay! Austina, are you using DocuSign or .loop?
.loop.
Okay. So I have a confession to make. I am a .loop certified trainer. And when we got the announcement back in 2018, 2019, that we were going away and going to DocuSign, I was so mad. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm a certified trainer. Like I can do like we can do stuff, and I feel your pain. And what I can tell you is that what was chosen for us through DocuSign is so that command and its integrations work seamlessly in command. We all know who .loop is owned by, and we all want to keep our jobs, right? No, Michelle, you don't know? You know the Zillow monster bought them. Don't play with me. And so when that privacy agreement, I think that was the crux of it in 2019, that came into play, and they were actually going to have access to our data going forward. So there's that. Job security and DocuSign is here. Yay! So Austina, you won't have any, is your Market Center only on .loop?
Yes, that I'm aware of.
Okay. Then I won't spend too much time here, but this is how you'll be managing the opportunity. Okay, so once that start button is created, you see this button now, it says go to transaction. So whether you're in .loop or in DocuSign, this will then take you out to wherever you set that up from. Make sense? So before I click another button, let's take a look at what has changed on this screen. All right, so let's go over to the left. I want you to notice that anything that's highlighted in blue is actually what is on the screen to the right. So this controls this. Is everybody seeing my cursor move? I wish I had like a drawing board. So once I moved to under contract, did you see the change? And then I moved to close, and now it changed again. So this is controlling these. Now there are a couple of different ways that you can add documents to this, and this is why it's important for you to be hooked up to whatever system you're using. Because if I want to go and I want to add my docs for compliance, so I've taken my listing, check this out. So then I would say from DocuSign, and look what it's going to do. So I have no documents in there, but if I did, all the documents would show up right here. I didn't have to go into DocuSign to get them. So before, when we were using .loop as an a la carte menu with e-agency, that was what we were doing with compliance, submitting the green sheet and all that other stuff. So let's keep this moving, because we all know we all get paid in opportunities in the commissions tab now. Is everybody's Market Center on board with that? Or are you guys still doing green sheets? Everybody's getting paid through command? Right. Cool. All right, so a couple things I want you to pay attention to are if you add an item, this can be a PDF. So say you want things to go into the file. This is your permanent filing cabinet for each one of your clients, okay? So you can put in, as you can see, I've got a bunch of little stuff that I put in. So home inspection email, it's an agreement. And if I want to make any notes, if I want to pull something out of my computer, I can just click on browse and find whatever PDF comes up. And now that will be in my folder. If I've already had these, like Dotloop has a thing where you can do multiple documents and you can download them and put them all in here. If you guys are using compliance that way, you can hit attach multiple files. You can then select Dotloop, and guess what it will do for you? You do not have to download and upload anymore. So if I had documents, they would appear right here. Are there any questions about this part? All right, keeping it moving. All right. If I wanted to attach the multiple files all at one time, I can do it this way. There's drop and drag option, or I can make one PDF and click on add file and drop it in my computer. So that's a download upload thing. Once I'm completed, you can see that this says listed and it's open. Once I've completed that part for compliance and the opportunity, this green button is how you communicate with your market center or your MCA, the one who pays you and the one who does compliance. I don't know how that's set up where you are, but once you have all your documents, you'll actually click that and you'll get compliance notifications here in the bell. And this is what they'll look like. So Ashley, this will be super important. Michelle, this will be super important when you turn in your paperwork, because you can turn in your paperwork as you go, which is the beauty of Command, is that you don't have to do everything all at once. You can take small bites of the apple at a time. From contact, so far, we put in our contact, we've created an opportunity. Now we're working the opportunity. And now we're moving forward. Now, so next, what happens when I get an offer in this opportunity is, in order to get paid, I have to add the details of the offer. So we're going to go ahead and add the new offer. You guys can call these whatever you want. It's going to name them by the names that you put in there. Okay, so I literally leave that blank every time. I don't know if that's right, wrong, or indifferent. If somebody told you I did, if I told you I did it wrong, it could be. But there is no right or wrong way to enter that in as of this point that I know of. So they made the offer today. I'm moving everyone's screen again. I apologize. They made the offer today, and the parties that are being entered. So from the contract, you should be able to see the buyer's name. So for the purposes of us being here, I'm just going to say it's the buyer. You do not have the buyer's email unless you represent the buyer, right? So let's pay close attention. The only fields that are required to be filled out in this opportunity for doing the offer are the ones with a red asterisk right by them. Do you see that? So I put in my buyer's name based on my contract. I'm not putting in their address. So I'm more than likely, I'm only working with a pre-approved buyer to sell my listing. Pre-approved and pre-qualified are two different things. That's a whole nother class. Let's just say I'm representing both sides now all of a sudden. I can put in my email, I can put in my phone number. The reason why the email of the other agent is important is because there is a function in command that I hope is working, and if it's not, just bear with me. But you will be able to accept and reject the offer. So this is telling me once I have everything that's in these little red asterisks filled out, that I can move on to the next part. All right, so this is actually the contract breakdown. And what I can tell you is that if you know that it's 3% down, you can do the simple math. You can keep moving, or you can plug in the entire amount in finance. This is going to go to reporting at some point. I am not in a state that uses an option fee. I don't know if any of you are. If you've heard of an option fee, then you would put it there, but I believe that's a California thing. The termination, the buyer will give notice of termination within so many days. This is the inspection time frame. So that's where I would put that. The seller will contribute to a residential service contract. This is a home warranty. So in our area, that's what they run. And in a perfect world, the seller would contribute closing costs. We all know that none of this is going to happen. There's not going to be an inspection. There's not going to be there's going to be any of that, and we're going to give you 10 grand over list price. Thank you. Okay, so really quickly, I don't know how much actually you'll be doing this part. This is depending on how your team is going to be functioning moving forward. This section, Michelle, if you're presenting this back to your seller, this is a really, really nice tool. And I'll go back because I'm not going to go enter in 10 offers. So say you're working those listings and you're getting multiple offers. Are you getting multiple offers, Michelle?
Oh, no, not right now. I haven't been in business for about a year.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna get back to it. So I'm gonna show you guys just one small thing about that. So let's just say this is offer number 1, and this was a VA pro. For me, pro, that's a pro. Is that it's a VA loan because they don't have to bring the money to the table, so I don't have to worry about them being short or close. Usually a fun thing for me. So cons was they asked for closing costs.
Wow.
And in summary, I can put as an agent, I can just put, this, in my opinion, is better than offer number, blah, blah, blah. So again, I'm going to type agent recommendation. And you do your work. So once I click on save, now that offer has been entered. So as you can see, now I have something here. And now I have one more step to make before this will actually generate commission. Okay. So in this opportunity, you've taken the time to put in your documents. You've already submitted them for compliance. Now you've got an offer and you're going to enter in your offer, and this is how you'll get paid. So once you click on accept, a couple of buttons are going to pop up. Am I? You can see it? Okay. I'm putting you guys back down. All right. There we go. Thanks, Malik. This is why you always have help. All right. So now that offer has been accepted, all the terms that we wrote out there. So we went to manage, we go to manage commission, and see that little red thing there? That's always going to pop up. I'm waiting for the day that it gets fixed. It's going to be great. So I'm always going to drop this in. This has actually been happening. I don't think I've actually reported it. It's just kind of like a nuisance thing for right now. So bear with us. This has changed so much. When I first started using Command, there were 6 like green screen things. So this is amazing now. So if you take a look, missing listing information, of course. So by that time, you will have had an actual listing. And when I selected that from before, this has to be selected once you get to this part. So when you are ready and you go to closing, and again, when you are ready and you go to closing, you can hit submit. That goes to your market center and go to pages. So just like this is at closing though. I would not do this before closing. I do know that there are some market centers that they are saying, go ahead and submit the commissions because they're doing reporting in some other kind of way. I would actually talk to your market center to ask them how do they want you to do it. I personally do not do that. I don't hit submit until I actually have a check in my hand and the closing has happened. Because we all know what happens in real estate, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Oops, let me put my thing back on. Sorry, guys.
Well, it's okay. All right. So the next thing that I will discuss, since we were talking about multiple offers, if you get a listing, there is a way that Command will help you in that opportunity manage multiple offers. Which opportunity is that? We did Arborwood. Yeah, I think it was Arborwood. I have to move the picture. I don't want to because I want to make sure that everybody is not bored to tears. And if they, if they feel like, they want to ask me a question, I want to be able to see that. All right. Because I want us to be in person. I know that Zoom is convenient though. All right, so if you take a look here, the offers and commissions tab, you see that number 10 right there? And yes, you do have to enter all of them, but you're only entering in that information that I told you, okay? So, and then I'm gonna move this again. So all 10 of those offers were entered, and if I click on select all, I'm just playing like bouncy with this. Check out this button right here. I know, I'm moving everybody again. All right, do you see this? Is this valuable?
Yes, it is.
So this will give your seller a really quick breakdown. I even put in, this is real. This is something that we just did. And you can, again, you can make this whatever you want. I broke down the offers because can you just imagine having to present them with 7 pages each of 10 offers and saying, here, let's read through all of these. Yay, great. No, I'm going to present them in a more digestible format. And the coolest thing about this right now is that you can email this to your seller. And this is what it looks like. I thought it was pretty cool, and it gives the breakdown on the information that you entered. Nice, right? No, I can get a woo woo. Yep. All right. So this is a complete is working. I have used this now, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. And this actual email has improved from the first time because the first time it just gave them the link. And I guess I started using this right at the beginning of 2020, right before everything shut down. All right, hand up.
Does the buyer who puts this up, I mean, not the buyer, the listing agent that fills this out, are those two screens different information? Like, right, you have that one screen where you can compare everybody right away. And then the second screen, it seems like you have some type of summary for each property. Is it the same info in both?
It's the same info in both.
Okay.
And there's another little important thing right here is send a copy to my email. So make sure you check that. So this is just what it looks like in the email format. When he clicks on the compare offers, that, hold on, that screen is what he's gonna see. And you see this other option here, you can actually download this page. So even if like, let's just say you don't have somebody that is technically, you know, they're not gonna click on it, it's not gonna be digestible. You can download the same sheet and you can review it with them in paper if you wanted to. And this is what it looks like. I would change the orientation on the printing to see if I can get more of them on one page, but it's the same breakdown. And I now have another tab. Yay! All right, so that was our fun on the listing. So let's take a look at the opportunities and the stages, and let's just name a couple of things. Let's see. Let's go back here. It's gonna be the same screen. Look, I was trying to go back to my personal account. There it is. All right, so this pipeline can be viewed a few different ways. So if I click on this, we're going to talk about the stages of the opportunity. We've got about 30 minutes left. So I'm going to teach you a couple of things on navigation. Do we have any questions on anything that we've gone over so far? Always, you can raise your hand in the chat. Malik is monitoring it. So just let me know, or you can come off mute. This is a small enough group. I don't mind, okay? So now we're into the actual, where you're gonna see everything. You know what, and I guess this is actually a better, example. Okay, thank you. All right, so a couple things, and Malik is reminding me that I actually like this view. I would imagine, Ashley, you may like the list view. So over here, this is called the board view. And if I click this is the list view, which means I can kind of scroll down a little quicker and see everything. Because if you're on the board view, you have to actually slide over to see everything. So you have to kind of slide down. You see this? So it's a navigation choice. So if I wanted to go to the list view, I can see all of my open, active opportunities under my listing. So this is a point in navigation. So if I wanted to, each one of these opportunities has a checklist. I think that was that the link that I gave them on the checklist, or was it for the opportunity? Okay, so, all right, so you guys will have how to do these checklists. Let's take a look at the actual checklist. There are a few things that are in there that are general. I go through and update them based on your business. Because once you click these, that's done. Notice that this has a little email and a checkbox that says client update. It also has who it's assigned to, which means that whose face is going to be on that update, the assignee. And when this gets done, tomorrow, the following day, after you've done all the checks, they're going to get an email. So you want to be careful as to what you're assigning for the client to see. Some of this stuff is just you managing the file, but some stuff you want the client to know that you're doing. So like do room measurements for the MLS. And the photos are scheduled. Yeah, he could know that we spoke yesterday and we scheduled the photos because it could be a reminder to them as well. Sorry. I thought I put that on silent. Okay, so let's see. So each one of these stages has a different checklist. And that's what the link in the chat is doing. It's showing you how to create said checklist. And this is, again, something that you can automatically update your client to do. So this can be assigned on a team. There can be a due date set for it. So if I wanted to update the seller on all offers and we had a deadline, I could put the 19th and I can make that a client update. You can also in here add, if there's something specific that you do with your sellers or with your clients, you can either customize this as a personal message to the client, or this could be a task that's like germane to your team. So see how it works both ways. This can be done with individuals or this can be done with a team. And each one of the items can be assigned. You can either assign it to yourself or you can assign it to the team. Are there any questions on the checklist? Yes, ma'am.
Just in general, what kind of information would you not want your customer to see?
Well, so let's just pull up this checklist. This one. Status depending on the MLS. That's kind of like my job. So while he might want to know that we're under contract, sure. Update the offers in the opportunity, probably not. But would I want to remind myself to do this? Yes.
Okay.
So like upload the contract to the opportunity. Yeah, he don't even know that. Upload supporting documents, ABA disclosures. Yeah, all of that is so realtor speak. Update the commissions. Yeah. So like some of these things are action items. Some of these things are emails. Some of these things. So as Malik goes through and does the contract to close portion, that's what some of these checklist portions are. Right, Malik? Yep. Any other questions on the checklist for opportunities?
I have a question for the checklist. Does it come up like as a notification, like on the main screen? How do you-
GM.
Okay.
So if they have been tasked to someone assigned, and again, if you're a solo agent, I'm not sure if they have that ability. I don't think you, so if you are doing this and you've got, this is gonna, the checklist can be a task. And the task should, keywords here, people. When you go to the home and you go to the dashboard, oh, I'm just gonna let you all see my dirty overdue task right now. Ooh, wait, it's under my personal account. Maybe not. Maybe there won't be any of that. I swear it never fails. I could have probably found a, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. We're gonna be patient. Anybody else? How's the weather where everybody is?
It's
Okay.
hot.
It's hot. We just cooled down.
Really?
Yeah, we cooled down last night. I don't mean during the day.
Okay.
Okay, it's 85. Okay, that's not as hot as it was 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago was terrible. And I mean terrible. Let's see if either one of these loaded. Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm just gonna close this one. There we go. All right. So Asina, here's some
Yes,
tasks.
ma'am. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Now, some of these tasks are coming from a couple of different sources. So notice how I
Okay.
have all tasks. So let's
Okay.
dive a little deeper into this. This is on all tasks. If I have contact tasks, meaning that if I went into one of the contacts and say I said follow up phone call and I set a task, that will come up on this board too. The opportunity task, and here they are. And this is what they look
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
like. Mhm. That last one, yeah, I don't do anything with that one, but okay. Actually, I think you may have had these. If you just came on in March.
For onboarding, I'm not sure. I'll have to check and see. Mine might be past due too.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, I'm only a few days behind. It's Amelie's fault. It's in my turn. Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get them done. Don't you love it? All right, so let's go back to work. All right, so back into the opportunities. So as far as navigation, and as far as, I don't think anybody has any need to import any opportunities. I will not muddy the waters with that, but going down here, it will, there's more information for you to see on opportunities, like your potential for what you're gonna make. And that is only if you enter them as an opportunity. If you don't have any opportunities, it's gonna look just like this. But once you have opportunities, it's gonna look like this. And this is valuable information, right? So knowing your numbers, and we say this all the time, and if you're new to Keller Williams, that is a very important thing. This is your business. You run it the way that you see fit. But knowing your numbers is you staying ahead of the game. How you will be able to talk to your clients and communicate with them as well. It's great to know that, I had 37 sales in the last rolling 12 months. I've had 15 buy sides. I've had, 23 sell sides. It's good to know these things, and this is kind of where you'll get that from. Any questions? And this is accurate. This part is accurate. I think the most fun part is this ratio thing, because I always wondered how they got it, but I have all of my opportunities from cultivate over to appointment, over to active and under contract and close. So it is guessing the probability of me closing things that are all the way over here that started from conversation. As long as I put in the appropriate information. So that's what I got. 15 minutes to spare. What do you have for me? What can I help you with?
I have a side question. Since I came in a little late, is there a way to access this full recording?
Well, if Michelle and Ashley don't have any questions, I think you were, what did you come in at, about 15 minutes in?
About 30 minutes in. I
30
came in about 1. Well, did you start at 1?
And I usually don't start exactly at 1 for that purpose.
Okay. I came in about 1:30.
Started at about 8 or 9 after.
Okay.
We
I came in
always
at
start
1:30.
introductions, but since there are only the 3 of us here, 4 of us here, we didn't have long. There is a recording. I do not know if this one will be provided for the region. If you put your email in the chat, I can get it over to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yep. And if anybody else would like it, just put your email in the chat,
Mhm.
and I will have Josh get that over to you guys.
Thank you so much for the class. It seems like all the little classes, people just, oh, we'll cancel, and I'm glad you didn't cancel because I learned a lot from you. Thank you.
No, I like taking these opportunities because this is actually the only time when you're in a group, nobody wants to ask questions. Nobody wants to stop me. And then I just wind up talking to a screen. So no, I absolutely love these opportunities. If somebody can learn something, that's what I'm here for.
Thank you.
No worries, no worries. We're all in this together, and that's for sure. Welcome to everybody who just got to Keller Williams. Malik, can you put my email address in the chat? If you guys have any follow-up questions, there are 2 things I can let you know. You can ask me. I'll reach out as I have time. I do manage a small team, and I am our Market Center tech trainer. But you in your Market Center actually have tech trainers. So you should know who they are. If you don't, some of them are your MCA, and they are a special people. They are very, very smart. And if they have a chain of how to get to them, a lot of us are doing one-on-one training. So if you don't know who that is, reach out to your TLs, to your team leaders, and ask them, who is our tech trainer? Because if you need one-on-one help, I know that every Market Center is providing. But feel free to jump on these regional trainings, and that would be all I got.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you all.
Mhm.
Good to meet you too, and thank you so much for staying with me. And I hope you guys got something out.